Sports are a very important part of Parisian culture, and here at the Jardin Villemin, this is a park in the 10th arrondissement. They have painted the courts, they've painted the backboards here. I'm Zach Bradshaw with NewsHour West. Here are the latest headlines. White House officials tried to reassure the public today that mysterious drones reported over New Jersey and other states are neither a security issue nor a safety threat. From filling out a drop-off ballot here at home, to dropping off a mail-in ballot to a U.S. Postal Service box like this one, to visiting a polling center like this one behind me in downtown Phoenix. There's plenty of ways to vote in this year's crucial election. Make sure to check mail-in ballot deadlines to submit your ballot on time, or visit a polling place any weekday leading up to November 5th. In Southern California, cooler temperatures and calmer winds are helping efforts to rein in the Franklin fire, which has been ravaging parts of Malibu this week. Meteorologists have already dropped all red flag warnings related to dangerous wind and fire conditions. From the suburbs of Newbury Park High School in California to the mountains of Northern Arizona University and Flagstaff, Arizona, to here in Paris, France for the Olympic Games. It has 5 seats and it's in charge of making sure Arizona has reliable energy sources to keep your lights on. It's also in charge of setting electricity rates, but under the current ACC, electricity rates across the state have skyrocketed. President-elect Trump has invited Chinese President Xi Jinping to his inauguration in January. Still to come on the NewsHour, freed prisoners in Syria recount the horrors they faced under the Assad regime. The Phoenix Valley Metro is entering a new era, and as this train pulls into the Van Buren station, it prepares for this stop to be one of its last. That's because the city has officially renamed the stop to match its soon-to-be new transit hub. All this behind me may look like, well, just a bunch of construction, but give it a couple months and this will become the new home of the Greg Stanton Central Station, a place where buses, trains, cars, and people alike can all connect in the heart of downtown Phoenix. At a ceremony in downtown, officials from across the state named the forthcoming transit center in honor of former Mayor Greg Stanton. During his tenure as mayor, Stanton led the passage of a $31.5 billion plan to triple the light rail station and construct a new high-rise hub.
Thank you very much for this tremendous honor. It does mean the world to me. It is so wonderful to be here celebrating the naming of this transit station, which is the foundation of a landmark development project right here in the heart of the city.
The station is on track to be open in 2025 and will include 2 light rail stations and a bus depot. City officials say it will launch over 200 daily rail trips and 400 daily bus trips. The transit center will be a major connection point conveniently located in the city's most populated area.
It's really important. I think there's so much that goes on down here, from sports to concerts, and not everybody, again, has cars or wants to use cars because, like, driving down here can be pretty hectic.
It's also located just a short walk from Arizona State University's downtown campus, which means students who choose to take the metro will have expanded options and a spiffy new station.
Very useful, especially on the downtown campus, though. Drops you off right in front of the stadium for game days.
With the new hub, residents can expect faster transit times and a better metro service. It'll be Phoenix's ticket to better public transportation. Zach Bradshaw, Cronkite News. Welcome to Madame Arthur, Paris's oldest LGBTQ+ cabaret club. When it opened in 1946, Madame Arthur was thought to be one of the only places in Paris that was accepting of artists who are transgender. Now, decades later, Paris is one of the most welcoming cities for the LGBTQ+ community, a community that was at the center of the Olympics opening ceremony.
The only way of using that as a tool to promote something that is so typically Parisian, I think is the way that they did it.
However, many of the opening ceremony performers have received online hatred, defamation, and even death threats after a dance sequence that some interpreted as mocking Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper.
Yeah, I think that we live in a moment where every provocative choice become a buzz, and people are waiting for that, and they want that.
What started as drag performances and a night of celebration resulted in controversy, cyberbullying, and harassment. But Paris officials say the intent was not to offend, but rather to celebrate.
The artist, the guy who make the mise en scène of all the ceremony with Thomas Joly, it only make a light about what's creating in Paris, like the cabaret.
Cabaret is a large part of Parisian life and a welcoming environment.
In Paris, we love the cabaret because it's a place of meeting.
Of course, the whole history of the queer community is inscribed within all of that. And I don't think it is only what cabaret is about, but it is necessarily also what cabaret is about, because that community has given us so much socially, artistically, culturally, and it just cannot be dissociated.
Reporting in front of the Madame Arthur Cabaret Club in Paris, Zach Bradshaw, Cronkite News. Paris wants to become one of the most accessible cities in the world.
It is important because we are a country and also a city inclusive.
But there's a problem.
Accessibility in Paris is terrible, so I thought that we'd change with the Paralympics, but with Paris, but didn't really change.
After years of living in Paris, French Paralympic basketball player Sofiane Meoui has learned how to navigate the city in a wheelchair. For Sofiane, accessibility comes with frustration.
If I want to take the metro, it will be impossible for me. My only solution will be the bus, but the bus is complicated because if I want to go to east to west to Paris, I need 2 hours with bus. With the metro, it's a half hour, so it's difficult.
Sofiane is just one of an estimated 350,000 people with a disability expected to be in Paris during the Paralympics. The Paris government so far has deployed numerous projects to retrofit the city to be more accessible.
And we wanted to rehabilitate sport areas in public spaces because it's for everybody. Paris wants popular games, so popular games for everybody.
One of the projects Paris has deployed is partnering with EasyMob, a startup that creates accessibility solutions to navigate stadiums, museums, and train stations like the Gare de l'Est.
Our goal is to make the city inclusive and to allow everyone to navigate easily and be able to go to work, be able to go to a cafe, be able to go to the train in autonomy.
The EasyMob solution is for navigating buildings, and for street navigation, Paris turned to another startup, StreetCo, which helps users report permanent or temporary obstacles in the streets.
The major problem is not the lack of accessibility, the major problem is the lack of information.
The city is trying to be prepared for the Paralympic Games, which is why Paris partnered with numerous outside organizations to try to address concerns.
Paris knew they had a topic regarding accessibility and regarding reduced mobility persons, approximately 30% of the population. So in France, it's between 20 to 25 million persons.
Solutions like StreetCo and EasyMob help, but don't entirely eliminate the problem. It is universally recognized that much of the problem lies in that Paris was built without accessibility in mind. But the city wants to continue to retrofit its existing spaces to work for every resident and visitor. Sofiane is remaining cautiously optimistic about the city's efforts to be more accessible.
I want to stay positive, even if Paris is not accessible. I want to be positive about what they are doing, what they've done. Paris 2024 help a lot for accessibilities, but it's not yet enough.
With the Paralympic Games just around the corner, Paris will try to put itself on display for being an accessible city. Reporting in Paris, Zach Bradshaw, Cronkite News.